Hi everyone, Dave here, Fit and Healthy Forever. This is just a very short video. I watched a documentary yesterday and it was on Netflix, and it was called The Magic Pill. Now, if you've watched any of my videos and you're skeptical about what I'm putting out there, you don't believe, you're not convinced, watch this video, this documentary. It's 1.5 hours. And basically what it's about, they've gone to Australia, America, and they've looked at, in America they looked at a child with autism, and they've looked at a nurse who'd been nursing for 30 years, got severe diabetes, type 2 diabetes. They went to an Aboriginal tribe in Australia, and almost every one of the tribes got severe diabetes. And they were discussing with them why they think this is and how far back it goes in their generations when you hadn't heard of things like this. And they asked them if they'd be prepared to change their diet for, I think it was 5 or 6 weeks, just to see what difference it made. And they all agreed. And what they did, they put them on a ketogenic diet, which I've done a video on. Basically, ketogenic diet or ketosis is when your body has no carbohydrates coming in, so you don't eat any carbohydrates apart from vegetables and salads, and you eat a lot of fats, very high percentage. It works out at roughly 75% fat, good quality fats, about 20% protein and about 5% carbs of your total intake. Now, your fats consist of things like olive oil, coconut oil, a decent quality butter, nuts, seeds, bacon, cheese, fatty meats, but good quality. And for instance, the little girl with autism, when they first showed you, she was bouncing around the room, she was screaming, she was jumping in the windowsills of the window and walking around, they had no control over. The only thing she would eat was things like, I think it was things like chicken nuggets and stuff like that, and sweets. And she was basically on a sugar rush, she was bouncing. So they agreed to go along with this, and it took, I think, about 2 weeks, I want to say 2 weeks for this little girl, they managed to get her to eat good quality foods, meat, vegetables, no carbohydrates. After 5 weeks, the difference you've got to watch to believe. She was so calm, she was talking properly, she could feed herself, which she hadn't been able to do before. Brings a tear to your eye. It was so opposite to what she'd been. And the couple, the relief, because they must have such a stressful life looking after a little girl like that, and they were so much more calmer themselves. Anyway, not to give too much away, moving on to the nurse. She'd had diabetes, severe diabetes for years. She was on umpteen medications. She'd had an operation on a carotid artery down the side of her neck, and she was at her wit's end. So they asked her to try the ketogenic diet for a few weeks, and she ended up losing, I think it was when they went back to her, 45 pounds in weight. She'd never felt so good. Her skin was better, she was starting to wean herself off her medication. Before all this, she thought like that was her life, that was it was coming to an end. It was just a matter of time. Now she's full of the joys of spring. It's just unbelievable. The tribe they went to in Australia, similar thing. They showed them how their ancestors ate berries and tubers and fish from the sea and cooked it on the seashore, and they started to do that. And one of the women she could hardly move when they went. She was so overweight with diabetes, and she was dancing at the end round a fire on the beach. And it's just, you have to watch it to believe it. Please, if you've got the time, 1.5 hours, Netflix, called The Magic Pill, please watch. It's not a lot of time out of your week or your month or your life even. Just watch it. And if that doesn't convince you, I don't think anything ever will. Ketogenic diet I've done for approximately 2.5 years. I combine it with intermittent fasting, which you don't need to do, but I prefer to. It's very tough at first getting through the first 2 or 3 weeks, but you will never look back if you get through that. And the health benefits are unbelievable. I can't stress it any more than that. They are unbelievable. Your energy levels, your skin's better, little things you're noticing about yourself, you're changing your body, and it's just too many to go into. But I've done a video on ketogenic diet, so have a look at that if you want to. But please try and watch this. It's so... The doctor, and I'd already seen there was a doctor in South Africa, and they tried to prosecute him for unlawful professionalism because he was trying to get his patients on ketogenic diets. And it took him 3 years through the courts before they finally decided that he'd done nothing wrong. All he was doing was helping them. And the guy broke down in tears. But I'd seen that interview before this film. You must watch it, please. If you don't take anything else from these videos, please watch that and let me know if it changes your thinking. I would dearly like to know, because it brought a tear to my eye, and I knew a lot of this stuff. I knew what it was all about, but it had a profound effect just watching it and watching how it affected other people. Simple changes in your life, just eating quality food. You don't realise that food you eat becomes you. If you're eating shit food, you become shit, basically. That's the top and bottom of it. But please, take the time to watch it. Thanks for listening. As always, stay fit and healthy forever. Try to make the little changes, and I'll speak to you soon.